Hey everybody, welcome to Ignite Live. Super excited to be live today. What are we doing today? We're making things happen. We're going live, all kinds of fun stuff. Welcome everybody to Ignite Live. This is where we get together, hang out, do some fun things, learn what we need to learn about the being in an author. We're calling them authorpreneurs. Stepping into your authorship and really rocking the house off the gate and doing what you do. So welcome to the new people who are here. Welcome to all of you. I know that Ignite Live, here they come. They're all going to start showing up. All kinds of fun people showing up for Ignite Live. Fun stuff. So welcome. Happy to have you here. So what do we do at Ignite Live? Well, what we'd love to do is talk about the fun and amazing things we did all week long and how we are growing our authorship. And then we like to connect with each other. And I like to just talk about the business of being an author. It's really important to me that I teach you the business of being an author. And that's what we do at Ignite Live. We talk about ways to grow your business, ways to grow your authorship. And then we have some fun and exciting, juicy things to talk about ways that you can connect with other authors, because guess what? I think we have the coolest community on the planet. Everyone here is from a heart-centered, incredibly gracious, loving, soul-centered place because, well, the cool thing is everybody shows up here with their masks off and their guard down as they are vulnerable about their authentic story. And that's a really cool thing, because how many times you go somewhere and you meet people and it's all about their last name and it's all about their job and it's all about the business that they do, and you don't really get to know them. You know their persona, or you know their job, or you know their, the credentials on their CV, but you don't really get to know their deepest, darkest secrets, or the thing that makes them tick, or something that elevates them or excites them. And that's what's so cool about Ignite Moments, is very quickly you get to meet people on a level of where they're at, where they've come from, what they've done. And they've stepped into that place where they're really recognizing the greater version of themselves. And it's not about competition in business and how much money you make. It's really about how much impact you're making. And I think impact is the new currency. I really want to talk about that. Impact is the new currency on the planet. How much impact you can make, how you can help others, inspire others. And I think that's a big shift from what's been happening in the last couple of decades, is that we really want to be a community of individuals who are supporting each other and helping each other, versus just what can I get, what can I take, what can I consume. So at Ignite, that's really our mandate. How do we impact others and ignite humanity? And as you get to know the other authors, you get to do that greatly. So we have some new faces here, and I'd love to introduce some of you. But first off, let's talk a little bit to one of our tried and trues, one of our favorites, one of our long-standing authors, Tracy Harrell. Hey, fill us in on what's going on with you. Tell us a little bit what's ignited you this week.
Well, partially you, JB. You always ignite me, but I'm just so proud of you. I love the work that you're doing. I love the fact that you have started this amazing, beautiful, transformative relationship with Les Brown. Again, I remember you talking about it. At the beginning, who might I want to connect with?
Exactly.
And you're doing it. You're doing it. So I'm super motivated by you. I think about, and I also think about the grace that you brought to each of us by saying, I'm doing it, I'm talking about it, but I'm really doing it. And then you're prioritizing the right things. I mean, the fact that you're saying this thing, this dream, this work is happening, I'm proud of you. And I think we're all kind of leaning in and wanting to just support the work. I love all these new, amazing, awesome people that are coming in. Dr. Tyra, how are you?
Yeah, really fun.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Dr. Tyra. Let's go with you next. So introduce yourself to the community. Tell us a little bit about you and what you're up to and what you do. And if you've had like kind of an Ignite moment this week.
Oh, sure. Hi, everyone. This is my first meeting. I am Tyra Good. I am originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We just recently moved to Western Massachusetts. What I do is that I am an educator, and I work with school districts all around and focused on urban education and diversifying the teaching workforce. So that's what I do, working with K through 12 students and institutions of higher ed, and a lot of young people within the community. My Ignite moment, I would say for this week, that I've already presented twice with 2 workshops. So I think that, that energy is just still flowing, is just still there, and have 2 more workshops statewide that I'll be presenting at. So it's an Ignite week. So thank you for
Bravo,
welcoming
right?
me.
You are
Yeah.
igniting lives and making impacts. Bravo. Your currency meter, ching, 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 is going up. Love it,
Thank
love it,
you.
love it. Thank you so much. Well, our newest author from just last night, Guy, you want to join us and come on screen and share a little bit about you?
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
We're doing great. Welcome.
Welcome. My name is Guy Ford. I have to first and foremost say thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be here. Gracious moments in learning and understanding about igniting my fire and being able to understand that I do have a story inside of me. I always knew I did have a story inside of me. I just never knew how to explain that story. And so with Tracy and Kate, and Tracy was phenomenal in bringing me through the process of just listening, learning, and understanding. And I do a lot of great things. I'm the Stanford president of the NAACP here in the city of Stanford. And as you know, through the disparities of what was happening with COVID and what is happening with COVID, I was very instrumental in making changes there with the city of Stanford. But also I'm a retired firefighter that was down at Ground Zero, Hurricane Katrina. I helped change lives. Lives now here for the last 26 years, I guess, if you want to say. And my ignite moment is I'm getting ready to go on NBC. I was just contacted yesterday. I wish I would have had my book by also, but it's going to come again. I ain't worried about it. I'm going on NBC to speak about how I've been extremely influential in helping a lot of young males, specifically African-American males, find their vision, find their light, find their wisdom, and find who and what it is they are to become successful in society. So I've helped several young men get to the NFL, build themselves into entrepreneurship. And now with this partnership that I'm very, very interested in seeing how I can become great at what I am here and how I can bring my story to light in a tangible form, because I've always been able to speak it, but now I want to be able to show it, have people read it, and I want to change lives and save lives. So thank you for you guys, your husband, yourself, Tracy, Kate, all of you guys for helping me out and bringing me through this journey. Thank you.
Bravo, bravo. Big reactions in this chat, everybody. Go to the bottom of your screen and click reactions. Yay, yay. Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we love having you here, and we just look forward to the way that you're going to inspire us. And ching, 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 you are building up your Ignite dollars also. So fantastic. Way to go. Absolutely love it. All right, let's see who else we got. Sheila Black, I know you are off screen, but if you want to join us, Sheila is one of our amazing authors, already finished her story. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with you. Anything that ignited you this week?
Yes, of course there is. Hi, everybody. Mine might be a little more gentle than that. The last one was a little up. It was very uplifting. What I do is I deal with all kinds of people who are either dealing with someone, they've lost someone who's passed over, or I also do some volunteer work with people in hospice and helping people transition at the end of life. And on Friday, I was just at the hospital and I had to jump through hoops to even get to the hospital because of COVID. It's you can't visit people, and even if they're dying, it's really, really bad right now with COVID. But I was able to go in and see. Actually, it was a friend of mine who was passing, and I was able to get in time to do some healing energy work with him and with his daughter. And it was what I felt was really igniting, was not only to help him transition and to bring him peace. He told me, "Oh, I'm at peace now. I'm not afraid, and I'm ready to go. And thank you." And he was just so gracious with it. But his daughter, she's 25, I guess, and she was like crying and just sobbing. And so I invited her in to help with the healing. I had her participate by using her hands on her father and with me, with the music and everything else. And she felt the energy, and she actually felt her father when he passed. She actually felt his spirit leave. So for me, that was phenomenal to involve the daughter. And she actually has so much peace knowing that her dad's okay.
Bravo. That's awesome and super, super, super special. I know how difficult that is, and it takes such an incredibly rare person to be able to be there at that powerful moment. So we salute you and thank you for making that effort. And I hope you're checking out the chat, as one of our another authors, Barbara, would love to connect with you. And that's why we're here. We're totally here to support each other. I'm good at what I do. You're good at what you do. We're all phenomenal at what we do, and we need to support each other and help each other. So please, ladies, connect. Barbara, I'll move over to you. How was your week? week and tell us a little bit about what's going on with you and just the feeling you had from what Reverend Sheila shared.
Yeah, and I was just working on my story to finish it up because we have our polish this afternoon. So I was like, that's why I was a little bit late. And at the finishing up this other part of it, when really I felt moved and tearful. And so Sheila, my story is about my daughter's life, and she took her life at 15. And so I feel more spiritually connected to her, but we didn't have those final moments like that. But my last words to her were, I love you. I feel blessed for that. But so I understand death and dying. Like I didn't have anybody die. I didn't even have that experience. And now I'm so cognizant of the role that plays in this small veil between life and death, and how important it is to so I just this minute was finishing up that as hearing you speak to that. Especially in our country, in America, there's not a lot of protocol, and a lot of times other countries have more grieving processes and or annual processes for their loved ones. We're just supposed to, okay, get over it and move on.
The rituals are gone that that a lot of people need to help with that process. So I really appreciate you saying that.
Go away.
It doesn't go away. And don't be nervous about your polish with me. It's going to be super fun. We're going to have a riot.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not that. I want to say, I've never been a writer before. In fact, I hated journaling. I didn't even like writing, but my daughter loved writing. But I felt compelled, and this process and the way that you have it set up has really been a beautiful way to bring forth our story, and the editing and the mechanics and logistics of how you move us through the pipeline. I am very appreciative, and I haven't gone with other programs or anything else, but I can tell already this is a special and unique process.
Thank you so much. We so appreciate that and love that you're and allowing us to help you with that process. Fantastic. All right. Our other new author from yesterday, Steph, you want to join us? Tell us a little bit about you, girl. Yeah, just joined us yesterday. So fill us in. Give us a little update on who you are, where you live, so people can connect with you and anything that ignited you this week.
For sure. I am Steph Elliott. I am coming from you north of Baltimore, Maryland. I am super stoked to be here. I am 38 years old. I am a mom of 3, 20, 18, and almost 13. And I am so incredibly passionate about telling my story of forgiveness. How to forgive someone who is never sorry is the most difficult thing I have ever done in my entire life. And at the same time, it was the most powerful thing I've ever done in my entire life. So I'm excited to be on this journey. I'm excited to help others through their forgiveness journey, because we all deserve it. You deserve it. I deserve it. And I got a fire under me, and I'm hungry, as Les says. I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Fantastic. I love it. I love it. Great. All right. I'm going to jump over to Ryan. Ryan has also got some amazing stuff to share. He's going to be doing some wonderful partnership with Ignite. So Ryan, tell us a little bit about you, Ignite Moments. I know you're plowing through your story.
Flying through it. Yeah. Nice to meet everybody. Super inspired by each of you sharing your stories. Because that's the power. It's everybody, not myself, that's for sure. And yeah, I'm a co-founder of a company called Book Thinkers. We promote for nonfiction authors, but it's been a long journey to get there, and I'm just passionate about sharing my story with others. For a while, I had imposter syndrome, still do, but my story is going to be about the power of communication, just being vulnerable and being able to share and finding so much commonality once you do share, and how therapeutic and also fulfilling being able to share comfortably really is. And that's what all you guys do. That's why I'm so proud of y'all.
Yeah, right back at you. We're so proud of you too. And it's interesting because lots of people show up with imposter syndrome. All of us have imposter syndrome. I was on Clubhouse the other day talking at a forum about imposter syndrome, and in very JB fashion, I said, imposter syndrome, how to get rid of imposter syndrome is you just start doing it. You just start doing it. Like if you feel that imposter syndrome, like, I don't know how, or they're better than me, or I'm not good enough, or I'm never going to be, like, you just start doing it and you figure it out, and you work the muscle, and you make the trips and the falls, but you get better and better and better each time. And as you do it, the kind of, you don't realize it, but the imposter syndrome just starts to disappear because you've actually taken the action and you've done it. So Ryan, by the end of this, you're going to be like, what's that? IP, I'm never having that again. Let me be on a forum and talk about it, because imposter syndrome, we all get it. It's true. We all get it. I had an author yesterday say, I think everyone's story is better than mine. And guess what? It's not.
Just one thing to add, I always say this, I think the best stories often go untold.
Yeah.
I've been blessed with the opportunity to create like a comfortable space for people to share with me stories that they don't share with anyone else. And those are always the best stories. That's why I love how everyone shares on here.
Yeah, it's so true that those are the best stories. And that, again, what I started right off the top, for those of you who missed it, like when you share that vulnerable, honest, authentic part of yourself, it just releases all of the pretension and pretenses and all of that. And it just makes relationships and friendships so much more fun and so much more authentic and so much more easy and in flow. All right, who else wants to talk? Miss Ashley Patterson, welcome. We're talking about anything that's kind of ignited us this week.
I just got home 2 days ago, and I was traveling, looking at some land and visiting family in Oklahoma and Texas. And what ignited me was just being able to travel again. It's been so long, and I was trapped in the house for like everybody else. And it just brought another level of appreciation and just a new experience to write new things and talk about new things. So I don't know about anybody else, but there was a lot that I took for granted prior to the COVID lockdown that now I don't take for granted.
Mm-hmm. You and I were talking about that before. Like, I think so many people will appreciate so much more now. I don't think people are just going to go back to the way it was. And I don't think we can ever just go back to that. I call it the Kardashian era, where it was like more and more and more and more and more and bigger and bigger and bolder and brighter and sparklier. I think now more than ever, people are going to appreciate like every little thing, every little drop of every little thing. And so thank you for reiterating that. And I'm so lucky that you got to do some traveling. So blessings to you. All right.
Thank you.
Fantastic. You know who I haven't heard from in a while is Miss Deborah Cook. Come on, Deborah. We haven't seen you in a while. Deborah is one of our authors in our book from last year. And share with us a little Ignite moment in your life.
Hi, thanks for calling on me. Well, I am just really in excitement because I've started my book.
Yay.
I know, I'm really excited. I actually hired a coach because I just want to get through this thing. And so my first bit of writing I sent to him, he said, wow, like you sent me like almost half a book already. So I'm in such excitement about this. And, and just like when I was writing for Ignite, the messages came through for me. And the same thing's happening for my book, like more things are coming through. And it's just, yeah, I'm just so excited to get this book out there. It's like, it's just awesome.
Good for you. We love it when the valve is open and the tap is flowing and the words are coming. So congratulations, just totally bask in it and just keep going, because that you have a great story and I know people are just going to love it.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else who want to share? Tracy Stone, want to share with us a little Ignite moment you had this week, something that inspired you?
So many, again, so many. Very blessed, truly blessed. I went for a walk today and it was the simplest thing. It was just a little walk, but it's the first time this week is the first time since early December that cafes are allowed to serve outside. And to see people sitting together, bonding, connecting in these outdoor tables, it was the simplest thing, and it actually brought me to tears. And then I was mortified because people are walking past this woman who's just crying. And it was ridiculous, but it's so incredible. It's such a wonderful shift.
I'm so glad.
The second huge thing is that I'm working with you, lovely JB, on my solo book. And we had a fantastic session yesterday, which has me thinking so many things and just loving the journey. And even a third thing, I apologize, I was late onto the call today because I was having a review with a client of mine who I did a session with a couple of months back, and she's pregnant now and hadn't been able to get pregnant for years. So I'm living the
Yes.
life.
You're making people pregnant. I love it. I love it.
No.
Good for you.
When you're good, you're good. It sounds
Right,
weird.
exactly. It's true. A lot of people can't get pregnant because, you know, they're just up this stuff that's going on in their mind. So bravo. I love that you're moving people's minds and making them pregnant. Fantastic. Pregnant with ideas, pregnant with possibilities. Well, for those
Everything.
of you, you know, obviously part of your author journey and writing your story is that we want to help you elevate to writing your book like the other ladies here. And so we always encourage you. And Tracy Stone, congratulations. She is doing our White Glove program and a few other people. So when you are ready with your story, you know, next and best thing is to write your solo book. So bravo. All right, Amy Lynn, I see your camera on, so you cannot go without being called on.
Hi, JB. Hey,
Hi,
everyone.
gorgeous.
So I just came back from a retreat from Sedona. And for those of you that may or may not know, Sedona is a special place where they have special energy with vortexes. So I was able to really dig into myself and follow what came up as my intuition and really focus on me. And it was just, I know, you know, even I just got back, I know there's still going to be a trickling effect, but it's really, it's a reminder that to take care of you and then everything will fall into place. So yeah, so that was my.
I can so relate. I used to go to Sedona before COVID every New Year's for a silent retreat during the New Year's and just take 5, 6, 10 days to just be quiet and let Sedona heal me. And it was super powerful. It's an amazing, amazing place. I always say if I move into the US, I move into Sedona. So you can see me there one day. And Peter and I love to go there. And as soon as COVID is over, we're headed down there. Our COO lives there. So we love Sedona. Love it, love it, love it. All right, Kate, I see you peeking overhead. You want to share a little bit too? You can't hide from me today. And Joe, you're next. So get ready.
Not really, because it's so positive, but right now Canada is in dire straits. We were just told yesterday that everything's locked down, including kids. So I have parents screaming out for help. So I've been torn away from my book and trying to help students right now. So yeah, I'm pretty stressed with the tight deadline that we have. But anyway, I'm trying to breathe. I'm trying to get through it, but I appreciate this community. So thank you.
You know, and thank you for saying that, because last year, for some of you who were here last year, like last March, when we went into lockdown, we were in a process in the middle of a book. And, you know, a lot of us just, you know, loved this community because everything was going on. And of course, last year was so unknown what was happening and everything was going into lockdown. So we are here for you. We support you. And we understand it's hard to have your mind on all these other things and write at the same time. So however we can support you, let us know. All right, Joe, if you want to share, you're the last one, a little bit about an Ignite moment that you had this week. And then we're going to jump into some other fun stuff about your business. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, hi everybody. Some of you may not know me. I think this might be my first one with you. So yeah, Ignite moment. Realizing that I can delegate fear as an employee to go do very boring, mundane things and leave me alone. That's been my Ignite theme, is just daily this whole past week, being you know, put under quite some high demands and stuff, causing me to, you know, doubt myself, doubt my, you know, team. You know, I told fear, hey, you know what? You need to go that way, go to that department, leave us alone. You're not allowed here. And I tell you, that just relieved me of so many other things. And so I can really focus on my team and myself, like the story.
That's
I got to
great.
get this thing done.
Anyone relate to that? Like fear shows up and you're like, kind of like, yeah, I'm the same. It's absolutely a great thing to share. We so appreciate you, Joe. And we really are really excited about the things that you're doing with Ignite and with your story and all the other stuff. So we love having you here.
Thank you.
All right, blessings, everyone. Okay, grab a piece of paper and a pen because you know I love to teach. I love to share. I know I love to give you all kinds of fun stuff. Earlier this week, we had our amazing expert on our candlelight. If you didn't get a chance to see Milka Rodriguez, please go back into Candlelight Conversations and you will find the recording inside Ignite Connect. And she talked about branding and having your ideal customer. And so I'm going to just give you guys a little bit of conversation around the idea of transformation. So when you are doing your business, the business of being an author, any business that you have, the whole idea of the fact that any of the coaching that you're doing, any of the services that you provide, the key number one thing that I can tell you from all my years of experience as an entrepreneur is taking people through a transformation. They start somewhere, and after they spent time with you, they have a different experience. That's how you create incredible, tried and true customers. That's how you get people coming back. Now, think about it for a moment. You go to a restaurant, you show up, you're hungry. They bring the food to the table. The food is awesome. You leave the restaurant. You love the waiter. Everything was fun. You had a transformation. You actually went in with one feeling and you left with a different emotion. Even something as simple as that is considered transformation. And so that keeps you coming back. Now think about the opposite experience. You go into a restaurant, you're late. They can't get you seated. You have to stand around. Nobody's answering you. You get to the table. Nobody gets to you. Your food is late. Your food is cold. Your food doesn't work. The waiter was snotty. Nothing was good. The kid beside you was crying. And it's like you had a terrible experience. And so guess what? You're probably not going to go back. And even though, the restaurant is still providing the same service, the experience you had was not transformative. And so I want us all to think about the transformation that we create in our businesses and our experiences, even if you're just, doing coaching, for example, or you haven't started your business, or you're just not sure what your business is. I want you to start thinking in the realm of transformation. So I'd like you to write out on your piece of paper, what are the ways that you transform your customer? What are the ways that you transform people who interact with you? What are the ways that you take people on a transformational journey? And so I'm just going to give you a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. I'll play some nice music. Please write down, what are the ways that you transform your customer's experience? Okay, anybody want to share? They may already know this, or this might be new to them, but anyone like to just share one person, give us an example of ways that you transform your customer? Anyone want to share a little bit? Go ahead, Amy.
So what I do is I ignite their imagination. So I would ask them, I would take them down to their mind and just discover what would it be like if down the line, if they have their perfect lifestyle. So what would that look like? Where there's going to be surrounding with what's their ideal day look like. So really just exploring their imagination.
Okay, super great. Tracy, you want to share?
Tracy Harrell.
Stone. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've got a selection of us here.
She put her hand up.
Tracy. So I kind of do a transformation in 4 steps. And the first step is to understand the root cause of whatever it is that is affecting, hurting, limiting somebody. Second way I transform is to smash and destroy their limiting beliefs. Third way is to install and live and love their powerful new beliefs. And the fourth step really, is to release their limitless potential.
Terrific. Okay, great. Great examples. So all of you have a way, or really I want you to think of a way that you make the customer go through a transformation. So those are modalities. I also want you to think, now let's think a bit bigger, next level. So think about your transformation, which is the modality that you transform people. And now I want you to widen it out. So take your pen and write starting point. So when someone comes to you at the very beginning, where are they in their experience? Are they needing something? Are they missing something? Are they losing something? Are they looking for something? Write down, where is your customer at the starting point? It's really important to know what their mindset is. What's their problem? What are they needing? What are they lacking? What are they asking for? What are they wanting? And you can put all of those questions if you like and come back to it later, but it's important to know where they are at their starting point. So both Tracy and Amy shared the modality that they do to transform. And I want you to widen it out by thinking of, where are they before they even get to you? And once they arrive to you and they decide, like, okay, this is my problem, you're the person that I believe can fix my problem or help me solve my problem, I want you to then take another, on another line, I want you to write a firm point. So you had starting point, and the second is the affirm point. So it's really important that you know where your customer is when they're starting with you. And then once they say yes, or they're ready to work with you and they've agreed to work with you, there's something very vital called the affirm point, which is where you really affirm that they made the right decision. Because a lot of customers aren't sure. First of all, they aren't sure what the answer is, and then they're not sure if you're the one to give them the answer. So it's really vital that you know what the affirm point is. After they've agreed to say yes, you need to have another point that affirms that they've made the right decision. And again, this is part of the transformation. So a lot of people have never had anyone affirm that they've made a right decision. In fact, how many people have made a decision and then they've told someone or told a friend or told a parent, and they were like, why did you do that? Why did you pick that? Why did you decide to do that? They actually get the opposite of the affirm. So you adding the affirm stage into your sales process is actually going to win your customer even more, because they're not used to getting an affirm point. So this is part of this massive overlining transformation. So you know their starting point, you're aware of it, you acknowledge their starting point. That's another important piece. Acknowledge their starting point. Then you affirm their agreement to work with you. And then you start to take them through the journey. And one of the important pieces is you lead them to a high point. So that's your next line. What is my high point? Where is the high point that I provide for my authors? What is the high point for them? The great thing is, from affirm to high point could be a lengthy journey. It could be a week long. It could be 10 months long. In fact, many courses teach you, they have from the affirm to the high point can be months and months and months. Lots of courses do it. Some courses have a really short high point. That's why they then create another high point, and then they create another high point. But if you're very aware of where your high point is, you can then be conscious of how long you need to get your customer there. So the high point may come after so many courses. It may come after a certain amount of training. It may come after a book launch. So know where your high point is in your process. It's really important, because then the customer is always working towards something. And if you're thinking of creating a course or your program, or you're thinking about how do I get more customers, always actually leading them to the high point is actually a great sales tool. It's a great sales point. So I know where my customer is starting. I acknowledge it and recognize it. I affirm that they've made a great decision. And now I work with them to their high point. Now, once they have the high point, you've got to have your next point was the conclusion. So every single customer needs to know what the conclusion is. When do I know that I've succeeded? When do I know that I'm done? When do I know that I've accomplished? When do I know that I get the pat on the head? When do I know that I'm healed? When do I know? So they need to have a conclusion phase. Now, the thing about conclusion is you can sometimes loop people back into the starting point. So for example, they may have concluded this course, but that just is the starting point for the next course, right? They may have concluded this program, but now that conclusion means they're just ready to start the next thing. You may have just, solved one problem, but now that's just the beginning of the next problem. So conclusion points can actually lead into next starting points, but it's really important that your customers know where the conclusion is. Because everybody wants to know that they've succeeded. Everybody wants to know that they've crossed the finish line. So having a good conclusion point is really important. And then lastly, after on the next line, put maintenance. So once your customer has concluded, if you don't get them back into starting, you can take your arrow and put them back up to the starting point, or you can do a drop down arrow into maintenance. So how do you maintain your customers? How do you keep them engaged? How do you keep them feeling like they made the right decision? How do you keep them feeling like they're going to continue exceeding the high point? How do you keep them maintaining the fact that they want to do more? So nurture and maintain are often interchanged when you think about business. How do I nurture my clients? How do I keep them maintained? You don't want to let go of your clients, because they say that the most important client is the client that you loop back in, the client that's already been through your process, and the client that you bring back. Those are the most important clients because they already have experience with you. So starting point, affirm point, high point, conclusion, and maintenance. Really, really important things for you to think about. Think about the transformation. Now, we were having a great conversation on the weekend. One of the authors said, you know, I just want to work with people who are where I'm at or already believe the things that I do. And the thing about that is it's hard to get customers to show up who already think exactly the way you do, because there's nothing transformative about that. If they just show up and think like you and are exactly like you and have the same ideas as you, then they're not going to go for the transformation. They're going to move on to the next person that can transform them to the next level. So it's not about looking down at customers or people that aren't at your level. It's at looking at customers who want the transformation. Because you can meet the smartest, brilliantest, brightest, richest people, but they still haven't gone through the transformation that you've gone through. And that's where telling your story loops all into this. JB, why are you telling us this? Because your story is what leads you to be the expert to walk people through these 5 steps. So your story, what you've been through, what you've gone through, what you've built, what you've created, how you've gotten over the things that were struggling with you has put you at a certain place. So really, if you're really looking for ideal clients, look for people who are 5 steps behind you. Look for the people who are just 5 steps behind you. And those are going to be your juiciest, yummy, super target market customers. Because the people that are 200 steps behind you, they're not close enough to you. You've got to do a lot of work to get them up to you. The people that are 10 steps ahead of you, they're not going to turn back and look in your direction. So if you just look at the people who are 5 steps behind you, those are the people that you can draft, bring forward, pull forward. And those are the people who are going to want and be looking for exactly what you have.
JB, can I just say something?
Yes, please.
Wow, 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 wow.
Was that worth the price of tuition?
Yes.
I agree.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm going to tell you why real quick, if you don't mind me interjecting.
Yes, please.
Unbelievable. So I've been going through this journey, finding this, finding that, but never putting that all together. So your explanation right there, as far as the steps, I haven't seen organizations out here who are breaking that down. You know, you can go into another organization and they can speak it to you, but they're not telling you those steps. And those steps right there was a wow moment for me. Right then, you gave me chills when I said, unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Now you use that process to attain your goals in whatever it is that you want to achieve. Amazing. Fantastic. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad you loved it, because now I've just taught you how to do, that's one program. And then you just now from conclusion, you do starting point to your next program. And then from that conclusion, you do starting point. So when people say like, I don't know what to create, I don't have a business, I don't have a brand, I don't have an idea, I don't have a concept. It's like, okay, let's just start with that. People who are 5 steps behind you, use your story to be the lead, the hook, the liner, the relatability. And then you just can build your empire on all of those pieces. Cool. Hey.
Amazing. Amazing.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So last part of the exercise is, the question is, who needs what you solve? Write that question down. Who needs what you solve? If all you ever did is solve the problem and you be the person to solve that, you would have endless customers. So who needs what you solve? I'd love for you to write down 3 types of people, for example, and be really specific. So don't say women. Women need what I solve. Be very specific. Women who are going through divorce, who have kids and are in custody battles. Like, be really specific. Who needs what you solve? Gentlemen who are in their 50s who want to learn how to buy a Ferrari. Figure out exactly who needs what you solve and be
Hmm.
really specific about it. Because the more specific you are about who needs what you solve, the more you get through the clutter and you get exactly to the people that need you. So if you know who needs what you solve, and then you know how to be 5 steps ahead of them, you can just, that's like pivot, 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 turn, turn, turn. You can just go from customer to customer to customer to different, like all through the sequences of how my customers here, my customers in this organization, my customers in this group, my customers over here. And you just know exactly who your customer is. Anybody want to share who needs what they solve?
I could try it if you don't mind. So
Yeah, I love it.
who needs what who needs what I can't even say the question. Who needs what I solve? I said for me, marginalized communities whose voices are not heard.
Perfect, perfect. And then and so that's great. So then you can even go even more down, like marginalized communities in this demographic, in this age group, in this part
Right.
of the country, in this, like even gets more and more and more. But if you start there and then you actually create your subcategories, then you realize like, oh my gosh, I have thousands, millions of clients because here's my big category and here's all my subcategories, and that subcategory could have a subcategory, and that could go on and on and on.
Gotcha.
Terrific. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, JB, this is
Yes.
Steph Elliott. I'll go, and I apologize, my camera is not on. My phone needed some power.
No problem.
I wrote down 2 things. And of course, I'm new to this. I have not officially launched my business. So this is a wonderful exercise. However, who needs what I solve? So the first thing I wrote is women who are struggling to find forgiveness from their past. And number 2, women and men who are children of addicts.
Fantastic.
As I am a child of an addict. So.
Great. Exactly. And now the people who are just a few steps behind you, based on your story and based on your experience, you can now create a course or a training or a teaching or a book or an ebook or a small book or anything you want to help solve the problem for those exact people. Awesome,
That
right?
is what is happening. It is
yes,
awesome.
I love it. Deborah, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm so glad you called me. I had a huge aha moment last week over this, actually. When I shared my story with my coach, he said, oh, so it looks like you'll be, speaking to people of spirituality. And I went along with that. And I always had my title, my book is to be called Your Divine Awakening. And what I really got was, no, my story is for every human being on earth, because there isn't one human being that does not live a life of pain and suffering. And so what I have to offer is for every human being. And so I got really excited about that. So I'm really excited about writing my hook and changing my book title so that everyone can be related to it.
Absolutely. Fantastic. And that excitement and that enthusiasm, it's all energetic. So your enthusiasm, knowing that that feels right for you, will draw people in because they'll be connected like a magnet. Like people get magnetized to your convictions. So bravo, go with that. Fantastic. All right.
Thank you.
I want you guys to all keep in mind who needs what I solve. And we're going to go into our networking session. So what happens right now is Peter's going to put you into breakout rooms and you're going to meet somebody else in the Ignite community. And basically what I'd love for you to do is practice on your networking. My name is so-and-so, and help, or I solve for so-and-so and so. So use what we just talked about right now. I solve XYZ for XYZ. And I want you guys to each take a few minutes to introduce yourselves to each other and practice your networking, because one of the really important things about networking is to have it like right on the edge of your tongue. Like you'll be walking in an elevator, be like, hey, what do you do? You'll be like, oh, I'm JB. I solve problems for authors. I help them go international bestseller in 4 months. Like you just can say it really quickly. You can solve the problems really quickly and tell people exactly what you do in a quick manner instead of, well, I do, because people dial out. So if you say it nice and very succinct what you do, then people are like, oh yeah, I need that. Or, oh, that's not for me, but I have a friend who needs that. And they get really, really dialed into what you do. And then they can refer you. And you want to, in networking sessions, you want to work with the people who want to work with you. All right, Peter's going to break you into breakout rooms. You've got 2 minutes each to go back and forth, and then we'll bring you back. All right, perfect.
Hey, I snuck
Hey, how
away.
are you?
How are you? Like, let me see if I can get another second. Two questions for you. Do you need anything from me? I know your time is short, and you were. Someone mentioned that you were having challenges with the Ignite or the story polishes. Are you good? I know you said for how can we help? Is my question.
Yeah, I would love it. I was been meaning to reach out to you and to see how we can make some magic. Yeah, some of the authors are just we're trying to get people to the end, and lots of people have been canceling and rescheduling, and I think the editors are, getting worried because they know they have so much to do. So I don't know in this exact second, but I do think we should reach out to Carolina, and maybe you and I could just have a visit and we could just talk and catch up. And so maybe we're ready for Friday and just regroup and stuff like that. Cause I really do think there's
We set for Friday with that thing with the brothers, with the Curry brothers.
Yeah, but I'd love to talk before then.
Yes, I would love that.
I have a podcast in 13 minutes, so I'm just kind of got my mind psyched
Okay,
onto
cool.
that.
So do you want me to copy Carolyn and say, hey, can you find some time with JB and I before?
Yeah, my schedule is so crazy. I just have the Let me just see if I can find something myself, because she's very good at trying to honor my time.
And before anyone comes back, are you comfortable with me following up with Kate? She seems a little bit on the edge.
That would be great. Yeah.
Okay. So we were just kind of IMing in the thing. I helped her once after the writer's nest because she was like, I just want to delete everything. I'm like, no, it's gonna be fine. And she was like, great session, but then she wanted more time. And I was like, well, you remember you asked me to just kind of confirm with you before I,
Yeah, I would love that, because she said that she wants to cancel her editing because she said she has too many words.
Yeah. That's the whole editing process, right? So yeah. So yeah, I don't know what she was talking about, but she said I spent $5,800 for this chapter already. And I'm like, I didn't respond. Did you see? I copied you on a few emails just saying, I'm like, what is she doing? Did I miss something? I was just gonna help her because she's invited 4 people, and when she's like, one of her emails is like, this is I'll never do this again. I'm like, no, you can't have someone who's bringing people in. She's tight on the timeline. Now saying anything negative. So I'm like, oh no, we got this. She has to be a net promoter right now.
If you have the time to support her, I did spend 2.5 hours on the phone with her also. So I've given her lots of time. And so if you have time, I would love it.
I just scheduled an hour with her, another hour with her tomorrow.
Yeah. I might be able to chat.
I'm up pretty late, so don't stress, or early, so don't stress if it's on the edges.
I actually have maybe a little bit of time tomorrow at 10:30 my time in the morning.
Tomorrow is Wednesday. 10:30 your time is 9:30 for me.
Yeah.
I can make that work. You want me to do it, or are you gonna put it out there?
No, if you do, that'd be great. Yeah, I have time 10:30 tomorrow. I have a leadership networking event that's 8:45 to 10:15. So I'm assuming it'll be by 10:30, and then I have an 11. So I have 30 minutes right there.
So 10:30, which is 9:30 my time. So I'm gonna do 9:30 to 10.
Yeah.
9:30 to 10. I'll do that right now. And it'll be about igniting inclusion. And your goal is to basically just kind of move through. Let's move, keep it moving.
Baby, we need to get done. Right. Peter, are you bringing them back?
Yep, they're coming back.
Yeah, Trace, reach out to Kate. That would be really helpful for me because
done deal. I already set a time with her tomorrow. I just wanted to.
Yeah. We're doing everything we can on our end. I think her story is just really traumatic. It's a really difficult story about murder and everything. Her family was murdered.
Layers of trauma. And she says, I'm still going through it. I still got the physical trauma, the concussions. And so I do think there's all of those things. So yeah,
I told her to write her story about, where we're going, where we're becoming, where we're headed to, that kind of idea, the new version, the new iteration, that sort of thing.
Thank you for saying that.
Staying in the trauma, let's focus on who I'm becoming, what I do now.
Ooh, I will use that. That's an easy way to.
Right. And I also connected you with hey everybody, welcome back. Was that fun? Did you meet somebody cool? I hope so. Anybody want to introduce who they met? I'd love it when people introduce each other. Who wants to introduce somebody amazing that they met?
I will.
All right,
Oh,
go ahead,
go ahead.
Barbara. Yeah, let's
Oh,
do
I
it.
was going to introduce Reverend Sheila Black, and we have a lot in common, and that she does healing work for a mom's group and who have lost children. And so that was obviously a good connection. And she could also feel the energy of my daughter. So that was pretty, her talents, just like that came to be and shown to me.
Isn't it like no coincidence that the randomizer of putting people in rooms, put you two in a room together? No randomness, right? Like how powerful is that? I love it. I love it. I love it. Reverend Sheila, you want to introduce Barbara?
Yes, it was wonderful to actually get to talk to Barbara a little bit one-on-one. So thank you for Peter, if you did that, or whoever did that, the lucky odds. But to know Barbara has a great idea to help many, not just grieving moms and families of lost people, but helping women to be empowered before it gets to the divorce, or if they have to go through divorce. It's all about empowerment. It's all about healing. And I know that Barbara's going to change the world with her voice and her love. So I'm so honored to have met you. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely. Undoubtedly. Absolutely. All right. Kate, I saw you put your hand up. Who do you want to introduce?
Well, it was perfect, and it just enlightened my day today. Yeah, so it was perfect. It was Dr. Tyra Good. I felt like synergy was huge. As soon as we connected, she has a background like me in education, and she's going to do great things with her book, what she's going to write about, but about curriculum, and yeah, just it's huge. I'm just feeling like real vibrating energy from connecting with her. It's perfect, and I'm so glad that I got to meet her. We didn't really go into me, so but also my story kind of related to her as well, with her story and how so it inspired me to keep going with my story. So thank you, Tyra, because she shared with me, and I'll let you share that, Tyra, what you shared with me, but it inspired me too. So
bravo. All right, Dr. Tyra.
Sure, thank you. So I had the awesome pleasure of interacting with Kate. I think the first thing, like she said, was our background and connection in education, and particularly educating and working with youth that have been historically marginalized, so youth and families. I think the second thing is that I recently, last year, completed my first international contract, and it was the writing a curriculum for someone in Canada. So that was a connection, being that she's in Canada. So as I asked the Lord to take me global and being a global educator, you know, of just everything just keep coming up about Canada. And the last thing, Kate was beginning to share her story of a healing process through forgiveness. And even though that my story is going to be more centered within education, it's starting off with the healing process of someone who had murdered my cousin when he was 16, but the effects that it had on me and why it made me go into education and want to make a change and fight for just young people in the community, and particularly Black males.
Wow. Wow. What a connection. What an amazing, beautiful, synergetic connection. Wow. The Ignite Angels were busy today. I love it. Fantastic. It's no coincidence. And of course, the right and perfect people always show up in our lives at the right and perfect time. And it doesn't matter who you meet. Just know that you've met whoever comes across your path in any way, shape, or form. Just know that you've got something to learn from them, something to be gifted by them. Even, you know, the person who passes you a coffee, or the person who opens the door for you, or wherever you are in the world, there is always a reason why those people cross your path. So fantastic. All right, great. Well, we are almost at the end. It was a super great session. What I will say and remind you all is on Friday, we have our author journey. And so we're going to start next week. This week we have it, so please join us. Next week, we start the author journey, road to bestseller, as we start moving towards the bestseller, that whole process. So please, if you miss this Friday, make sure you start joining us next Friday, because we're starting to move into that bestseller process as you guys finish your stories and go bestseller. Now, Saturday, super treat, Coach AM is going to be on our Candlelight Conversations. We have opened up our Candlelight Conversations to everyone. All our Ignite authors are invited for free. We've removed our pay what's possible, and we're just making them free because they're so good and juicy and yummy. We want everybody there. And Coach AM is going to be teaching. He's a phenomenal coach. He's a results coach. He's super great. And He has created a brand new program specific for Ignite authors. It's all around addressing your blind spots, getting your business schedule going, becoming successful. It's all about your backstory. It's a really fun program. We're going to talk a little bit about it on the weekend. So please join us on Saturday for Candlelight Conversations. Lots of fun stuff. Of course, always getting into your Ignite Connect. Everything is in the recordings. We're always doing something fun. So we just welcome you to the community, welcome you to the joy. Go out and ignite your life, do something fabulous. And if this is your first meeting that you've been to, we do something special, don't we, team? We always blow kisses at the end. So mwah, have a great day, everybody. Big hugs and kisses to you. We'll see you later on in the week. Go out and do something fabulous. All right. Take care, everybody.